Night wakings can feel like guesswork. What is waking up my child? Is it sensory? Is it biology? Is it a habit? Or all three? Today I'm going to show you exactly what to do when your child is waking at night. No guesswork, but a starting point you can commit to. By the end of this video, you'll know which system to target first and how to combine everything you learned in this series into a simple, effective plan. Hi, I'm Diane Lusney, and I support moms who have kids aged 4 to 12 on the autism spectrum who also have sleep issues. Point 1. Sensory night wakings. The metaphor, the nighttime guards. Think of your child's senses like nighttime guards, always scanning just in case there's trouble. If one of them gets activated by light, noise, movement, temperature, that guard wakes up the brain. You know sensory should be your focus when your child wakes suddenly or is startled, especially if there has been a change in the environment. Clues are when the room is too hot or too cold, when noise triggers them, when light leaks under the door from the hallway or from devices, when bedding textures bother them, when movement during night activates their vestibular system, or when their settling to sleep seems highly dependent on the environment. The alerting of the guard can happen at any time in the night. Sensory awakenings feel unpredictable because they're triggered by whatever change is happening in the environment. Different every night, but always tied to something the senses detect. What you can do. Start by reducing sensory overload in the evening and increasing regulating activities. That way, there's a greater chance that the sensory input will be managed without triggering an alarm. Second, clean up the bedroom environment. Reduce the sensory load. Fewer things for the brain to track. Add predictable sensory cues, like a weighted item or perhaps a background noise machine. Keep sensory tools passive, low intensity, and consistent. The goal is a calm, steady sensory field that doesn't change throughout the night. Now, if you're thinking, I've tried all this and I still don't know if I'm doing it right, that's exactly why I created a full sensory bedroom checklist inside my Family Sleep Success program. It walks you through every detail so you're not guessing. Does this sound like your child? Do you think their senses become overstimulated in the night and that's what wakes them? Comment below. I'd be interested to know how many of you think your children are awakened in the night with sensory issues. If your child wakes in the night and can't resettle, a quick activity from my free T-Zone system for relaxation and sleep can be found in the description, and it helps the body shift back into safety and then into sleep. Point 2, biological or brain-based night wakings. Metaphor, the 24-hour clock. I don't know which way you guys see this. The 24-hour clock with gears out of sync. The body, yours, mine, and your child's, works like a 24-hour clock. Different functions happen at different times in that 24 hours. The more the body clock and the external day and night cycles match, the better. But our body clock, also called the circadian rhythm, always needs a bit of tweaking or resetting. The need for a reset is common, and the lack of a reset can result in a lot of things going wrong. A poorly timed circadian rhythm can include symptoms like low melatonin, unpredictable circadian rhythm, cortisol spikes at the wrong time, and amygdala, the fear center, stuck in alert mode, overstimulation before bed, inconsistent morning wake-ups, and high stress days. And of course, all the downstream events from each one of those. You know it's biological when your child wakes at the same time every night and takes a long time to fall back asleep. Probably because, as far as their body is concerned, it's morning and it's time to get on with the day. Biological wakings feel predictable. They get up at the same time. There's the same level of alertness. It's the body's internal systems firing at the wrong time. What you can do. The biggest thing you can do, anchor the morning. Consistent wake-up times plus light exposure. This sets the internal clock that controls everything else. Light exposure in the first hour of waking tells the body, this is morning. Reset the clock. During the day, some heavy work or activity, so the major muscles get used, not only helps with regulation, it can support the idea that it's an active time of the 24-hour clock. In the evening, follow a routine to reduce the stress of the unknown and have low or light stimulation. Have lights that aren't as bright, and if possible, no ceiling lights. Again, to support the type of light and where it would be located if we were out in nature. But here's the thing. Biological wakings often require tweaking multiple pieces at once. Timing, light exposure, activity levels, stress management. And that's where most parents get stuck. They know what to do, but they don't know how to sequence it, or which change matters most, or to be persistent with being consistent. Inside Family Sleep Success, we do a few things to help you in this area. I reduce overwhelm by sharing only the most impactful activities and explain the why behind them so you can customize the activity to fit your child. A unique routine for your special darling. Plus, we gather together to support each other. This isn't a smooth, straight road. If it was, you would have figured it out already. There will be good times and tough times, but together we can progress and get your family sleeping. Does your child wake up at the same time every night? If yes, there's a good chance it's biological. If it is, share with me below and we'll see how many of you are dealing with a biological issue. Point 3, behavior or habit-based night wakings. What happens at bedtime doesn't stay at bedtime. Think of bedtime as writing code with an if-then sequence. The way your child falls asleep teaches the brain what to expect later. If I am to sleep, then I need this to happen first. In other words, if your child falls asleep with you rubbing their back, it's been programmed that that's a necessary step to sleep. If your child wakes up in the night, they will need that activity in order to fall asleep. You know it's habit-based when your child is calm when they wake up in the night and they head straight to your room and are able to fall asleep once the if-then equation is fulfilled. Behavioral wakings feel frustrating because they seem so fixable. If they could just not need me, this would be over. But changing learned patterns is harder than it looks, especially with kids on the autism spectrum who rely on predictability. What you can do. Shift your support to earlier in the evening. For example, still rub their back, but don't rub it as they are falling asleep. Perhaps do it while you're chatting with them. Reduce parent-dependent sleep associations. Introduce a I'll check back later pattern. Build gentle independence using tiny, tiny steps. Rehearse changes during the day when everyone's calm. But honestly, this is the type of waking where most parents need real support. Not just knowing what to do, but having someone guide and support them through the emotional piece. Because changing these patterns brings up guilt, doubt, worry, and both of you may lose some sleep during the transition, which, if you are already exhausted, is almost an impossible place to be. That's exactly what I do inside my Family Sleep Success program. I don't just give you the steps. I walk with you through the process. I help you to figure out which change to make first, how fast to move, and what to do when it feels hard. You get a step-by-step plan based on your child's specific night waking type, live coaching and a community of moms who get it, and accountability so you will actually follow through. Because here's the truth. You've spent hours watching videos, reading articles, talking to people about it, trying things that kind of work but not really. What you need isn't more information. It's a clear plan and someone to help you stick with it. Now that you've heard about all three types, you can probably feel where you want to start. But many kids on the spectrum have two or even all three working against sleep. The good news, you don't have to fix them all at once, and there's not really a wrong answer. You fix them in the order that makes the most sense to you and your family. One issue might be screaming to be addressed, but if the solution just isn't going to work for your child or your family right now, then you start elsewhere. One of the good things with addressing any of these issues is that they are all healthy solutions. So addressing any of these issues builds health, reduces stress and dysregulation, which makes future action easier to take. Even if you don't address the right issue first, there will be progress, and with progress comes acceptance of change and momentum. All good things. If you want my help building that step-by-step plan, and you want a community, guidance, and tools that keep you accountable, that's exactly what I do inside my Family Sleep Success Program. Please join me and shortcut your path to better sleep for yourself and your child. The link is in the description. You don't have to figure this out alone. Join me in the community so you too can sleep better, shine brighter.